What in the cost of living crisis is this?
As the cost of living crisis rages, the monarchy is raking in more money than ever.
Living alone in the UK right now is so expensive.
Why is the petrol not coming down now? Oil is absolutely plummeting in price.
This is survival mode. The way this country is going down the shitter, the price of things is outrageous.
What the hell is wrong with the UK? I've just paid £55 for my food shop.
Let's just take a minute to talk about this cost of living business because it is just outrageous.
6 months later, empty bank account. What can you say?
It's already empty.
It's already empty, yeah, it's empty. No more.
Yeah, your bank account is full.
Yeah, that's all.
Already empty.
After my video, I've had lots of people comment in saying, why would you move back to the UK? UK's a hellhole. You'll wish you never left Australia, all this kind of stuff. Although the UK is a mess and Australia is 100% a safer and better way of living, unfortunately, it's not always that easy to stay there. And there are cons of being in Australia. You're really far away from family and friends. You're always in this battle between a place that you love, people that you love, and that conflict is really difficult. And I didn't know whether or not I would be able to live with that for the rest of my life, watching your friends have children and families and you're not a part of that. Obviously you build connections and friendships that become family when you're in it.
Welcome to Blighty Blighted, your daily reminder that in Britain these days your wallet gets lighter faster than an Olympic sprinter. Honestly, does anybody have any money left? I'm beginning to think the only thing getting any exercise in Britain is my debit card. Food costs a fortune, electricity costs a fortune, petrol costs a fortune, council tax costs a fortune. Even a quick trip to the shop somehow ends with your bank account looking like it survived a natural disaster. Our wallets aren't just empty, they've developed an echo. Remember when you could leave the house with 20 quid and come back with a couple of bags of shopping? Now £20 barely gets you through the front door. You fill a basket, walk to the checkout, then instinctively brace yourself. It's not shopping anymore, it's financial Russian roulette.
Keir Starmer says he's leaving Britain better off than he found it. Let's check the receipts. My council tax is up more than £500 in 2 years. Council services have got worse, not better. The roads are that bad, I'm now doing a slalom just to keep my car in one piece. Tax on electric cars, 3 pence a mile from 2028. At my mileage, that's an extra £300 a year. Landlord tax is up from 40 to 42%. That's another £400. Making tax digital turns one tax return into 5. That's another £500 in accountant's fees. And I have 2 separate businesses needing this, so that's an extra £1,000. Dividend tax up 2 points. Or what I draw from my own business, that's an extra £1,700 a year. Add all that up, and I'm the best part of £4,000 a year worse off. So, who is better off? Benefits claimants, people who don't work, public sector, of course, always more money for you. Everyone else, are you better off? Tell me, what has 2 years of this government cost you so far?
All right, we've got a headline here talking about the King and his tax returns. He is the first monarch ever to do so. Thumbs up for transparency. But we can see all of the money that the royal family have been raking in. We can see now the £400 million that has been spent on Buckingham Palace that the King has decided to no longer live in. We can see now that the Prince of Wales is richer than the King and is a billionaire. We can see lifestyle choices like the 177 helicopter rides that cost £4,000 a pop. As the regular people of the country are struggling with the cost of living, this type of exuberance and hedonistic lifestyles really does strike us as tone deaf. They need to rein it in.
Hi everyone, happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. It was nice to have a bit of sunshine out. Made a huge mistake of not cutting the grass and now it's rained, so it's going to get longer. But I did do a tick treatment on the doggies, so that's all good. I'm here today, I'm going to do some training and help out a friend of mine who has a care company. And it got me thinking about another friend of mine who spent 20 years, she's just retired down to Devon, she spent 20 years working for the NHS, and her pension after 20 years is 300 quid a month. Can she live on that in her old age? I don't think so. I mean, that's not even going to keep me in snacks.
You know, as a nation, we have to stop borrowing and spending. The 30-year gilt yields are at a 26-year high. Things are far worse than they were when Liz trusted her budget. And the media went crazy over her budget. And now it's like, oh, well, look, yeah, 30-year yields are at a 26-year high. Oh, that's quite a lot, isn't it? I mean, if we just keep doing this, it's going to be really serious for the economy. I don't get it. I don't get why the government keeps borrowing more and more and spends more and more when we're not earning it. What do you think? I mean, are they doing it on purpose? I think they're just doing it because this is the way of Labour. You spend. That's all I can think. And they just think, oh, it'll be all right later on. It'll be okay. That's all I can assume. What do you think? What are they doing? And what should we be doing with the economy? How can we cut? Should we cut? How can we earn more? Because we can't keep going like this. I mean, we literally can't keep on going as an economy like this. Tell me in the comments what you think.
Even Mr. Trump's having his say on it. Read this. The big oil companies are not dropping their price at the pump commensurate with the sharply lower prices they are paying for oil. Those prices are dropping like a rock. In other words, customers are being gouged. I have instructed the DOJ to immediately start looking into this. Gasoline prices should be better start going down a lot faster than what I'm seeing, President Trump. Now, we've said this before, didn't we? As soon as there was any hint of anything going on in Iran, the prices at the petrol pump went rocketing up. I put some diesel in yesterday and it was still 184.9. And everybody said, no, it's not about that. It's that we have to buy the oil in and the petrol in different stages and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right.
All my bills have gone up. My council tax bill has just come in and it is a 4.9% increase on last year. And when I complain, people say, well, you know, you just need to budget better. Look at what you're spending every month. Look at all your subscriptions that you don't use anymore. I do not live beyond my means. I work really hard. And the reason I work hard is because I want to enjoy life. I don't work to pay my bills. I work to live. I feel the same.
And I'm spending like 60 quid a week, and I tried consciously to not spend as much today. I didn't get anything other than what I needed, and it was £55. Bearing in mind I live on my own and I only got dinners for 4 nights. I didn't need to get milk, I didn't need to get eggs, like I didn't need to get some of the necessities. I literally got 4 teas, some stuff to make some tomato soup tonight, and some fruit. And it was £55. And I went to Aldi. Like, what am I doing wrong? How can I make that cheaper? Because £55 for one person, not even for a full weekly shop for 4 days from Aldi, that can't be right. Like, that's not right. Something has to be wrong. Like, that is not right.
This is this year's water bill. So I am with those lovely people at Anglian Water. I was paying £92 a month last year for my little teeny tiny terraced house with its 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom downstairs next to the kitchen. And in fact, I actually ripped out our bathtub 4 years ago because it was so small and I thought it didn't make sense. And there's also only 3 of us living here, myself, because obviously my lovely husband is living in America full time. So we only see each other as often as we can. So it's just me, my 2, 1 teenager and 1 preteen, and it's just the 3 of us. £92, and I used to think that was a lot. Well, this year it's going to go up to £103. Great. I'll just add that to the pile of everything else that's going up, and to the empty bank account that is not going to have enough in it by the time all these bills finish going up. I honestly don't get how we're all expected to pay all of these bills and to actually manage and eat sometimes.
How come, yeah, some frozen strawberries covered in chocolate in Aldi are £3.49? I did pay for them this time. I never paid for them before, but I did pay for them this time. And honestly, I was outraged. It's just a joke. It's getting worse. Like, I just got one bag of food, yeah? And within that bag of food, I got a pack of mince, a big pack of chicken, like 4 pieces, I think they are, 4 chicken breasts. Not for me, obviously. 2 Greek yogurts, some barely any fruit, 1 avocado, 1 cucumber, and then just some treats, yeah? Do you want to know how much it comes to? This hasn't even got 1 dinner in it, you know. £45. £45! This country is a disgrace. Like, £45. The average person would have to work 4 hours to pay for 1 bag of snacks, you know, and a pack of chicken and mince. That's literally it. That's all I got. They ain't got no toilet roll, they ain't got no household items, they ain't got no pasta, no carbs. You didn't get a fucking full meal. I just got a few things that I needed, and it was £44. The average person is on minimum wage. Do the math. It's not mathing. This country is outrageous.
If you're in your 50s, have you realised yet that the UK pension is £230 a week? And you've got to wait till you're 67 to get it now. That's £32 a day before you pay for anything. It's not a lot, is it? How is anybody meant to live on £32 a day? I won't be, because I've got a digital products business. So, but anybody else that's just done that, I'd be panicking. Me this time last year was definitely panicking. No income, no plan B. I wasn't even thinking about pension. I was thinking about day to day. But now I sell digital products on social media. It's not difficult. It's not hard. It's repeatable income that comes in all the time. And I make way more than £32 a day. But if you are not in that situation and you're relying on that state pension, you better start working out what you're going to do with your whole £32 a day. It's not going to go very far. I'd be panicking. In fact, I'd be shit scared if I was relying just on that. And that is, of course, bearing in mind you've paid all your national insurance up to date for the last 357 years. And then when you do get to the ripe old age of 67 and they say, oh, it's gone up, it's £34 a day. Woohoo, go you. Yeah, if you're panicking about that, or if you're thinking £32 a day, not going to work, then I would have a look at digital products if I were you, because this is a business where you have one product that sells on repeat, makes you money day after day after day, whether you're sleeping, walking, sitting on the loo, cooking, gardening, it pays you all the time. It's not physically demanding. It's not mentally demanding. In fact, it's not anything demanding. It's just something that people overcomplicate and overthink. So a lot of people try it and can't get it to work and then go, oh, it's a scam. No, it's really not. Netflix, Amazon, Spotify, they all sell digital downloads. And me, I sell digital downloads too. So my starter kit is £59. Grab that. Join my free community so you can ask questions and get the help and support you need. And then you don't have to worry about that £32 a day. Do you know that's also the price of 1 bottle of champagne? I know what I'll be doing.
So just out of curiosity to basically to be nosy, how much in your area would a 4-bedroom house cost? Now I know there's obviously different things that would affect that, like whether it's a new build, whether it's an older house, whether it needs work doing to it, or whether it's a fully refurbed 4-bed. So let's give me 2 prices, like a standard 4-bed that needs a bit of work doing to it, like, you know, painting, modernising, something like that, and then like new builds in your area. Because I was talking to my dad and he had someone doing a job for him the other day, and he said from where he lives, like a decent 4-bed house is around 200,000, and that blew my mind. Literally couldn't believe it. Yeah, crazy. And then to put things into perspective, 5 minutes up the road from us, like literally where we live, there's a new build site just been built. 4-bedroom houses there range from 650 to 805,000. What? Who is paying 805,000 for a house on a new build estate? I don't know. And I do think if you've got that sort of money, I mean, I personally wouldn't go and buy a new build for 805,000. That's mental. And they're not even that big. I think I can't remember. I'll have to have a look and I'll get back to you and let you know. But they weren't like massive 4-bed houses for 805,000. But then 20 minutes away from where we are, I did go and look at new builds there. And the reasonable size 4-bed, look, they were lovely. They range from 475 to 585. So even that, just with like 15-20 minutes away from each other, that's like a huge huge difference. So 4 beds around here that need work doing to it, whether that's like modernising, knocking through, you know, that sort of thing, you're probably looking at 380 to 450. And then for a house completely done, like a nice 4 bed, I would say you're probably looking in the region upwards of 650, something like that. Oh, I don't have that.
You feel it, don't you? That something's gone badly wrong with this country. You're not imagining it, and you're not alone. You work harder than your parents probably ever had to, and you've got less to show for it. Rent and mortgages eat your whole wage. The wages never move. You ring for a doctor, a dentist, the police, and nobody comes because nobody's there. 7 prime ministers in 10 years, and not one of them has looked you in the eye and told you the truth. So here's the truth. You are not the problem. Your neighbour is not the problem. The family who came here to work and pay their way, not the problem. The person who voted for another party to you, not your enemy. They just need you to believe that he is, because while you're busy fighting your neighbour, you never ask the one question that frightens people in power. Who is getting rich off all of this? Who lit the match? Not your neighbour. A lie on a screen, pushed by people who want us at each other's throats. Some of them not even in this country. And look who profits. A party that tells you to fear the foreigner, taking millions from crypto billionaires sitting in Thailand. A leader under investigation for a £5 million gift he never declared. Money our own government warns could be foreign cash pouring into British politics. They wave the flag with one hand and take the money with the one behind the back. So ask yourself, who owns them? Because it isn't you. We don't have to look back and be angry about it, but God, we are done living back there. Brexit didn't set us free, it shut the door and called it pride. Well, we can open it again, be good neighbours to Europe again, because we always were. We can fix this island and ready it for the storms that are coming for our children. And we can throw out every politician who divides us to line their own pockets. Everyone, whatever colour rosette they wear. Because this was never left against right, us versus them. It was never Leave against Remain. It was never you against the family next door. It was always the few who profit from our division against the rest of us. The rest of us who just want a decent, honest life. And there are so many more of us. So let's stop kneeling to Washington, to billionaires, to liars who got rich making us afraid. Let's be fair again, kind again, brave again. Let's leave our children a country, not a grudge. Let's bring back normal, a fair day's pay, a hospital that answers, a safe street, neighbours not enemies. That isn't a fantasy. That's just normal, and we can take it back. We are not each other's enemy. We never were. Bring back normal and pass it on.
If you live in the UK, I do not know how you are supposed to survive right now. I really don't. So I've just gone to Sainsbury's, right? And I know people are like, oh, you can go to Aldi. Right, I've been in Aldi, and either the food goes off quicker, not all of it, but some of it, or it's the same price, because Sainsbury's are price matching Aldi at the moment. It's my place to go. I know where everything is. You know, it's not bargain basement, but I don't think anything is bargain basement now. And I refuse to eat shit. Like, I just refuse to, like, fill my freezer with shit that is bad for my kids. So, don't even get started in the comments on that. That's not the point. The point of this is, I've just gone and done a shop for me and my daughter for 3 days. That's it. Just to last us till the end of the bank holiday weekend. And all I have bought is dinners, breakfast cereal, and soup for lunch. So I haven't pushed the boat out. There's no snacks in there. All right, I needed some toothpaste and deodorant, right? But that's normal. That's what you need to live. You need to be able to brush your teeth, and you don't want to smell. Even with the discounts, Nectar discounts, all the rest of it, 3 days is 57 quid. And for somebody that wants to justify that, just don't even bother. Because not that long ago, there were 3 of us. And I used to shop for 3 of us. And I used to buy branded shit because he wouldn't eat the non-branded shit. And I would do a full week's shopping. I was on a protein diet, so I was buying lots of protein, tins of tuna, chicken, eggs, you name it, it went in the basket. And that would cost me 130 quid to feed 3 people for a week. And less than 3 years later, I can't even get through the absolute basics. People always ring at the most inappropriate time. I'm having a rant here. And that was nearly £60. Nearly £60. So if we math that out, that's 120 for 2 people plus another day, and that doesn't include any of the other stuff that I used to buy, which was cleaning products, like laundry stuff, toiletries, like you name it, on like eye level shelf, because that's how they price things. If you don't know, go down the bottom if you want the cheap shit. It's on the floor. They don't want you to find it. What is going on? What is going on? How are we supposed to survive this? Our wages haven't gone up that way. Like, I just don't know how. I've got 1 kid. Like, 1. What if you've got 3 or 4 children? Like, what are you eating? Where are you shopping? Are you growing your own food? Like, what is going on? It is utter mad.
Actually outrageous. So, I'm going to give you some examples. So, food. Like, if you want to eat good quality, nice food, and that it's going to last for more than a day, you spend an absolute fortune. If you want to get supplements for yourself, for your kids, so just as an example, for my kids, if I was to get them all the supplements that they needed, so how many of them is there? 1, 2, 3. So there's about 5 or 6 supplements really that they need to be taking as a separate amount to get the full amount of each supplement. That would be £60 per child. So what is that? 6, 12, 180, is it? I'm terrible with maths, don't do maths. About 150 to £180 a month for 3 kids, for supplements that are going to benefit them. It's disgusting. So that's that. Then there's clothes, like if you want decent, good quality clothes that are going to last, you're talking ridiculous amounts of money, especially for 3 kids. Fuel, I'm forever having to put fuel in. I reckon I spend about £40 to £50 a week on fuel. I could just go on, it's never ending. And before people start going, yeah, well, you could buy cheaper things, blah, blah, blah. I don't want cheap things. I want nice, good quality things that are going to last, that are going to benefit your body. It is just outrageous. It really is. Like food shopping, like I've tried shopping at Aldi's. All the fresh stuff doesn't last more than a day, 2 days, and it's just not nice. I normally shop at Tesco's, but even Tesco's fresh stuff, like the fruit and things like that, I've found that's not lasting, and it's like really small quantities. So I'm having to go to Sainsbury's now quite a lot for a lot of fresh stuff, because it's better quality and lasts a lot longer and is bigger in size as well, so you can get more out of it. Oh, mum problems. Anywho, if anyone else can relate to this, let me know in the comments. If you can give me any ideas of where I can get nice quality things that are slightly cheaper, then let me know. Yeah, rant over. I'm going now. Bye. Let's go rob a bank.
It's an economic truth that you haven't got money in the bank, even if your bank statement has a positive balance on it. Now, this comes as a bit of a shock to most people, because when you've got savings, people like to say they've got money in the bank. But I'm sorry to inform you that that statement is not true. So let's first of all talk about what money is. Most people think that money looks something like this. There it is, a £20 note. That is the common conception of what money is in the UK. It'll be a dollar bill in the USA, it'll be a euro note in Europe. But that, as far as the UK is concerned, is what most people think money is. But it isn't, because this is just a statement of debt. How do I know that a banknote is a statement of debt? Well, it's because it says on it, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £20. In other words, this thing that we call money is in fact an IOU, nothing more or nothing less than a record of a debt owed by the government that issued that note to you who happens to own it at present. And if you put your money, which was represented by a pile of those notes, into the bank then has that pile of notes, and guess what? They are owed money by the government. And you aren't, because this is what is called a bearer bond. And a bearer bond is one where the money is owed to whoever happens to have it at that moment. Now that's important, because that isn't the relationship you have with your bank. You didn't give the bank your money as you see it for them to then say, well, it's mine now, thank you very much. You gave it to them on the basis that they would repay it to you. And in practice, that's what they acknowledge that they will do. They'll acknowledge that by printing a bank statement with a positive balance on it. Of course, if you owe the bank money, the bank statement will have a negative balance on it, and now you've got to pay them. But the principle is the same. In either case, there isn't money floating around, there's debt floating around. And that's because all money is debt. It is just a promise to pay. So we really shouldn't get confused between debt, which nobody can see, and these things, which are IOUs, which are simply physical records of debt, but actually aren't the debt itself. The debt, by the way, in the case of that note, is repaid when you pay your tax. They accept your banknote as payment for tax, and that cancels the debt. Now, how does this impact that relationship between you and the bank? Well, that relationship between you and the bank is one between a borrower, who is the bank if you think you are in credit there, and you are in credit there because they record the fact that they owe you money as a credit balance on their bank statement. And it's their bank statement they send you, not your bank statement that they send you. It's their books that are recording you as a creditor. And a creditor is somebody to whom money is owed. And you are a debtor of the bank. They owe you money, so they are in debt to you. Now that's the relationship. In that case, though, for you to expect there to be a pile of what you might think of as money in the bank to represent the payment to you is, I'm afraid, mistaken. There isn't anything with your name on it in the bank, except that bank statement. That's because, in practice, a model bank doesn't really deal in what most people think of as money. I'm not saying they didn't once upon a time. Once upon a time, this idea of money as notes and coin was pretty relevant because that's the way in which most transactions were undertaken in the economy. And until 1971, in theory, you could still demand that a pound in sterling could be converted in a roundabout way via US dollars into gold. But that's not true anymore. It hasn't been for over 50 years. So there is no relationship between the debt that is recorded on your bank statement and anything tangible or physical or anything of the sort that you might think might be sitting on a shelf in the bank with your name on it. It doesn't exist. There's just a bank statement. And so all the bank is actually doing by operating a bank is recording debts. Debts from you to the bank if you owe them money, from the bank to you if they owe you money because you think you've got money in the bank, and the transfer of debt between people, which is what happens if you say, please pay someone else out of the funds that you currently owe me. The bank will then reduce the amount it owes you and increase the amount that it owes to somebody else if you make a payment through your bank account. That's what they do. They are just bookkeepers. A giant accounting exercise is what goes on inside a bank, which is one reason why, well, banks are very hard to find these days, because they don't need to be physically present on high streets to do that bookkeeping exercise anymore when we don't use these tokens of debt instead of electronic payments. Now, this matters. It matters because if you are owed money by the bank, what guarantee is there that the bank will pay you? The answer is none at all if the bank is bust. Now, we are very unfamiliar in the UK with banks going bust. Only one has tried.
The worrying part is that people are changing the way they live. Families are cutting back. Pensioners are counting every penny. Young people are wondering whether they'll ever get ahead. Even people with decent jobs are watching every pound. That's not how most people imagined life would turn out. And every month it seems there's another increase, another bill, another charge, another excuse. Funny how the explanations change, but the result is always the same. Less money in your pocket. I opened my wallet yesterday. A moth flew out carrying a sleeping bag. Even he looked disappointed. Brits have always been resilient. We've got through wars, recessions, strikes, and all manner of crises. But there's only so long ordinary people can keep absorbing higher prices before they start asking difficult questions. Because hard work should allow people to live with a bit of comfort, not simply survive until payday. Blighty used to empty your pint glass. Now it empties your wallet before you've even ordered one. The cost of living isn't just squeezing people anymore. For many families, it's reshaping the way they live. And that's something no country should be comfortable with. Cheerio. Watch your wallets and purses, and I will see you all in the next video.